The first American leg in the 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series is over. Now, we head to Japan, Suzuka GP circuit for round 3 of the 2019 season on Gran Turismo Sport. Team drivers, one complicated technical road course. These drivers have been practicing all week long for this race. I'm going to bring you live coverage here on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel real shortly. Earlier this season, Greg Baker in the Nissan GTR winning at Willow Springs. Tyler McMurder in the Nissan GTR winning at Blue Bay Speedway. Now, round 3. Who's gonna win at Suzuka? I'm Tyler, joined in the commentary booth by Greg. Happy you're
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Greg Baker from England, coming along, sitting beside our good old friend Tyler McMurder for the commentary of Suzuka. Driver's been putting in a heck of a lot of practice here over the last few weeks. We should see some phenomenal driving side by side. Back to you. Let's see what kind of action we've got.
We got a whole lot of action coming your way. We're going to bring you live coverage of the event right now. We've seen a tremendous amount of action since the beginning of the 2019 season. Drivers, we had, I believe, 5 different race leaders at Willow Springs. We had about 4 or 5 different race leaders 2 weeks ago at Blue Moon Bay, and it came down to strategy for McMurder at Blue Moon Bay. We're going to see if strategy comes into play here at Suzuka. Team Subaru.
It definitely is heating up in this league, I must say, Tyler. The amount of strategy, the amount of thinking off the track that's helping people on the track is I think it's a lot more than some of the drivers were bargaining for. So we have seen some upsets, but the strategy is definitely going to pay dividends at this circuit.
Octane showed good speed in the practices all week, and in qualifying he's on the pole. He's got his teammate Even Steven behind him in second, Apologist in third. It's a Team Subaru front 3. The green flag is in the air for round 3 here at Suzuka. Destin McGee in 4th, Craig Baker in 5th, Thomas Geyer in 6th, Slow-Mo in 7th, One Shot in 8th, Tyler McMurder in 9th, Jamie Bunzel in 10th, Bill Baldwin in 11th, and Keith Ayers in 12th. Some drivers electing to start at the back. They include Tyler McMurder, Keith Ayers, among others. There's your race leader, number 14, the Subaru. Remember, there's a bonus point on the line for the pole winner and for the fastest race lap. Octane looking to lock up both of those here today. Already has the one for the pole.
Utterly phenomenal work from the Subarus over the qualifying sessions this weekend. Absolutely unbelievable. The amount of time they were able to gain with the soft compound tyres over the people in, who was that, 4th and 5th? I believe that was myself and you, or maybe one of the Corvettes. But yeah, the Subarus have done an absolutely phenomenal job.
There's a lot of work these drivers need to do when they go to get back to the throttle. You got to get back to the throttle really carefully and sensitively, or else you can really spin those tires and lose control. We've seen that a lot in the practice sessions. Battle for 4th, Greg Baker takes it from Destin McGee, going down the long stretch now. Remember, Baker won the first race of the season, Willow Springs. He is currently your points leader coming into this event. Great start to the season for Team GTR. 2 wins to start the 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. Back up front, Octane going around the right-hand turn. He's got his teammate well in tow with him, just about 6 car lengths back. Sorry about that, Greg. Go on.
Absolutely. It's such a wonderful game to be racing on. It's taken many years for these simulators to get to the position they're at, with this still being one of the more arcadey simulators. As above this, we have iRacing and other platforms, but yeah, simply phenomenal platform to be doing this kind of racing on. The camera control you're allowed to have while watching the replays, the setup ability you have with the vehicles, the realism of some of the the models, vehicles that we're looking at the moment, and the detail on the tracks is impressive. It doesn't do it any justice at all. It's way more than that.
Very realistic graphics, very fun racing experience. Gran Turismo Sport really hit the nail on the head when it comes to having a good time, having fun, and realistic racing. The paint jobs, the car liveries, and the option to download other drivers' helmet paint jobs and car liveries paint jobs, and add it to your favorites and add it to your collection and put them on your own cars is just tremendous. Bill Baldwin started at the back. He's worked his way up to the 6th position, but he really overdrove this corner. He goes off course, makes contact with the outside wall. Jamie Bunzel, his teammate, goes by for the 6th position. Thomas Geyer in 7th. Tyler McMurder in 8th. That's a heartbreaking way to start the race. Remember, a 60-minute endurance race.
To make an educated guess, I would say that was some kind of connection issue.
It very well might have been. We don't see Bill on the track anymore. 11 cars left on the race surface, and evidently Bill Baldwin is out of the race. One shot, went off course a moment ago. He is now elected to pull his car off the racetrack. 10 cars left on the track. There's Thomas Geyer, number 8, Chevy Corvette. Off to a decent start here, Suzuka GP. He's got Tyler McMurder in the Nissan GTR behind him. Both drivers started towards the back. Keith Ayers in the Mustang started dead last, and now he's making a move for the 8th position on last week's winner.
Heat on Tyler there. Oh, has he got him around the outside? Oh, there's a bit of contact, and he's made it round. Got on the inside for the next turn. Good manoeuvre.
Did a great job.
You know, going back to what you were saying about the liveries, Ty, the creator of Gran Turismo, Kaz Yamauchi, it was something I remember he said just before the game was actually released, they did a beta test for the livery editor within the game. It was released for 4 days on beta. I think it was 330,000 full car liveries were created in those 4 days.
Wow,
so
that's
yes,
tremendous.
There are pretty much an infinite amount of variations available for these drivers, as well as the ability to upload your own small decals, your own personalizations for your vehicles.
I found a few that I liked. Added them to my collection. I love it. Great feature about this game. We should let you know that the race leader, pole sitter as well, Octane, has pulled away from his 2 teammates. Right now, they're in a battle for 2nd. Even Steven holding that position for now, but he has Apologist in 3rd. I would say no more than 6 to 9, 10 car lengths at most. 10 when they're on a straightaway. When they go through these tight turns, they get down to about 4 or 5 car lengths. It's going to be a battle here shortly.
Yeah, Octane's definitely been he's been head of the pack the entire practice and qualifying sessions, without a doubt.
Yeah, the ones who were involved in the practices and the qualifying sessions, they're probably not overly surprised by who's leading the race right now. Octane looking for his first career NOSSCAR GT Cup Series win, and it just very well may come today here at the Suzuka GP circuit. And he'd rather get his first win out of the way early in the season, perhaps build some confidence and momentum off it. And he's looking to be the favorite at Suzuka.
Looking to the back of the pack, we've got Slow-Mo Meow from Canada, one of the test drivers for the Honda team.
Having
Don't have many
start.
entrants from them so far, but yeah, he's having an absolutely solid start to the race, keeping up with yourself and who else we have there, Mr. Keith. So we've got you three in a little fight at the back there.
3 different cars. 3 different race teams. McMurdo got a little bit squirrely coming out of that left-hander, and that's going to allow Slow-Mo to make the pass and take the 8th position around the outside.
Taking into account the Nissan has a heck of a lot of horsepower and maybe not getting out of the hole, but as soon as it puts its power down, it's considerably more powerful than most of the cars on the circuit.
It may not be always the best thing. Power is good, but sometimes it's really easy to spin those tires coming out of those tight turns when you're down in a lower gear.
Octane absolutely just splits in the pack. He's a good 10 seconds, it seems like, on the track away from his teammates in second and third.
His pit crew, his crew chief, smiling. I'm sure any friends and family of Octane's watching on YouTube, loving what they're watching, leading the way.
See, it's all in the lap times for this track. Consistency is key. Looking at what we've got here from Octane, he's got starting the race off with a 2:03. Obviously, that's starting from a slow start, but then when he really got into the groove, he set the fastest lap of the race at a 1:57.6, and then he's gone to a 1:58 and a 1:59. The rest of the pack, even struggling to keep anywhere close to that. Most of them running in the 2:05, 2:02 region. But is he going to be destroying his tyres by doing that?
And I know that one thing, he needs this run. Whether he gets the win or a podium finish today, he needs a good finish to kind of rebound and head in the right direction towards the championship. He finished 6th at Willow Springs and 7th 2 weeks ago at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. So running out front and leading laps, getting the bonus point for winning the pole, this is exactly what he needs. He's rebounding the right way. In fact, the entire Team Subaru organization here in the NASCAR GT Cup Series really having a wonderful weekend. Showing terrific speed. Apologist has taken the 2nd position from Even Steven. Still only about 4 car lengths separating those 2 cars.
But Even's had a great run off that last corner. He's in his toe. He's closing up. He's closing up. He's not going to be in it for the first corner for the pass, I think. But if he positions himself correctly, the next time they come down the main straight, he may be there for a run.
Apologist did not participate in the race 2 weeks ago, Blue Moon Bay Speedway, but he placed a 7th place finish at Willow Springs. Enough to get him noticed and back in a ride with Team Subaru for today's event. 14 drivers started this one. We're down to 10 cars left on the racetrack.
Oh, in 6th and 7th, we've got Ayres Keith making a move on Jamie Bunsell. Just gone into the first corner, overtake him on the inside. It looks like he's holding his line.
Terrific pass by Keith Ayres on his teammate. Remember, he started at the tail of the field and he has worked his way up to the 6th position. Got to give it up for him. Number 12 Ford Mustang looking strong.
I don't know how we did it, but we got the entire working machine of Suzuka to wait for an extra hour for Keith to be able to join us and get off his plane and into his vehicle ready for the race. But he made it, and he's just destroying the competition piece by piece. He's making his way through the pack for sure.
Slowly but surely, you can't pass them all on lap 1. You can't pass them all in one corner. So that's what he's doing the right thing here, especially since everyone's really been humbled all week long by Team Subaru. Seems to be a Team Subaru track. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. Some of these cars are going to be the better cars on some tracks. We saw the Chevy Corvettes have strong speed at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. And we saw all the cars really quite even Steven, if you will, no pun intended, to one of the drivers in today's event, at Willow Springs in round 1. It's going to be an exciting season with the different cars.
So looking across, here we go, we have Slow Mo Meow currently in 9th, I see, running the Super Softs, front and rear. That's the racing quickest of the tyres that's going to degrade also the quickest. Then moving up the pack, we have Dustin McGee who's running just the racing softs, so that's one compound harder than Slow Mo Meow. It's going to take him a little bit further. And then moving ahead of that, we've got myself and yourself running the racing hards on the front and the racing softs on the rear. So a bit of a balanced choice right there. But they do seem to be wearing evenly. And then moving up to even Steven, Apologist and Octane in the Subarus up front, they're all running racing softs. But interestingly, if we look at their driving styles over how many laps have we done? 7 laps so far. In third, even Steven has the highest tyre wear. In second, with slightly less tyre wear, is Apologist, and with the best tyres of the 3, Octane. So it is showing that skill, consistency, and a calm application of the throttle, holding the driving line around the circuit, is saving the tyres, and I think that's going to be a big factor for the win around here.
It really is. We've seen strategy like this come into play for the win before here in the NASCAR GT Cup Series. Might happen again here today at Suzuka. Dustin McGee running in the 5th position, having a good day. Gets a little bit off course there on the exit. Right when I go to speak about him, gets a little bit sideways, gathers it back up, goes down the straightaway now.
Bit of a flip. Absolutely. That is not the place you want to be sideways. I mean, you can go onto that the green AstroTurf on the outside of the track. For our viewers who aren't used to the game or haven't played it, there's 2 kinds of AstroTurf. There's a lighter green and a darker green. One of them has all the grip in the world, and one of them has 0. And he picked one of the places where there is 0 grip to be sideways. So he was a good catch right there. Absolutely brilliant catch.
He continues on in the top 5.
Picking up on myself here in the number 86 GTR. We're in the 4th position. Just no one around me at all. It's completely empty, just clear track. All the Subarus pulling off ahead, and bringing up the rear is Dustin McGee. But yeah, a solid and consistent start, but difficult to actually gauge what's going on around you in the race when you've got the clear track ahead of you.
Qualified well. Running up there in the thick of things, and if the Team Subaru cars can't quite go far enough on fuel, or if there's any sort of strategy involved with the pits, then you're the one in the catbird seat running in 4th.
Well, that was one thing, sorry to ruin the experience for the viewers, but that I experienced while racing this race, which as you can tell I'm not doing right now. The hairpin you've just seen me go around there, I did try a couple of Tokyo drifts around that corner, so every now and again we may see some action around that corner.
Octane out front, making it look easy. He's got a big gap to play with between himself and his teammate at Team Subaru, Apologist. Watching these Subaru cars go through the final couple of corners there the exact same way, showing good speed. Looked like Steven got maybe spun the tires a little bit coming around the final right-hand turn. Update on Keith Ayers in the 12 Mustang, running in the 6th position. He's got a heck of a distance until he catches up to Dustin McGee in the 3 car.
It looks like he's in the groove. I think he's going to make it.
got his teammate Jamie Bunzel. And the number 2 Ford Mustang right behind him in the 7th position. And yours truly in the 8th position, the Nissan GTR. Gaining ground on both of them. Lost a lot of ground originally, I do, but...
That last section of the track, that finding the correct braking zone, getting over that 90-degree right and over that slightly more than the 90-degree left with the inside curb having God only knows what kind of AstroTurf on the inside. It's really slippy, really dangerous, but you get it right, you can save a lot of time, but in trying to get it right, you try and get it perfect and make a mistake, and it will spit you off into those tyre walls, and it's just absolutely hell trying to get back on the track in that position. You will definitely lose with whoever's chasing you if you get yourself on those on that bit of green.
Lead is only stretching for Octane, laying down solid lap times here at Suzuka, in and around the 2-minute flat range consistently. These drivers are going to have to make pit stops in the near future, though we're expecting everyone to pit at least anywhere from 2 to 4 different times in today's event, 60-minute endurance race.
I'm taking you up on that comment there, Ty. We've got Octane. I'm looking at his fuel wear at the moment. He's got just under half a tank left. And the person following him, a biologist, only a fraction more, but nonetheless enough to go a few more meters. And in third, even Stephen has considerably more. So he's obviously been doing some fuel saving, which means he's going to have to stop less when he actually gets into the pits, which should give him a jump on anyone coming out of the pits.
See, there's a whole lot more going on than just driving fast and holding on for dear life. There's a whole lot of strategy involved to these NOSSCAR GT Cup Series events, and so it makes them so unpredictable and exciting to watch, because the fastest car on the track does not necessarily win the event every single time.
Oh, we've got a battle here for I think it's 6th, 7th, and 8th position. That's Keith, Bunzel, and you. See what's going on there.
Bunzel trying to hold on to the 7th position. They're both gaining ground on Bunzel's teammate, that being Keith Ayers. But you're right. McMurder in 8th. One of 2 Canadians in today's event, stalking Jamie Bunzel for the 7th position, now through the S's.
As you see on the livery of the Nissans, visit NOSSCAR.com to see any details of the multiple different leagues that are run with our friend Timac through NOSSCAR.com, where it would be /GT Cup Series to see the details of this. And there's also, I believe, that NASCAR trucks, am I correct there? And also NASCAR cars.
15 different leagues across 6 different video games and 3 consoles. There's a NOSSCAR league out there for everyone, and Jamie Bunzel goes off course. Tyler McMurder takes the spot. Put McMurder into the 7th position. Bunzel back to 8th. Bunzel did not lose too much time to Keith Ayers and Tyler. Still right there with him. Might need to clean his tires off for a couple of corners here, but once he does that, he'll be back up to speed. These Nissan GTRs showing good speed over the course of a long run, and it looks like the tires on the Ford Mustangs beginning to show their age a little bit, because now McMurder beginning to reel in Keith Ayers for 6th.
If you're to press either the L1 button and or you use the right analog stick, we can get some chase cam footage, maybe see the race from a slightly different perspective. That's the L1 button on the
Okay. Just finishing up showing you the pit stop for Keith. A little bit early for him to be making a pit stop.
phenomenal work on the pit design by the creators of the game. Absolutely, really gives you the feel of being on a race circuit compared to the previous versions of the game where you go into the pits and there's no one there. Your car lifts up like it's being picked up by the hand of God, gets dropped back down again and continues. They really have made a massive leap forward in this game.
Even Steven has made a pit stop as well, I'm pretty sure. Greg Baker now into the third position.
Octane into the pits, here we go.
Race leader on the road.
Coming into the pits. Taking a set of Pirelli P0s.
He's lost a little bit of paint on that car, so he's evidently went off course and made contact with something, but it doesn't look like it's anything serious. He's now back on the racetrack.
And who do we have in the background? I believe that's myself in the GTR. Coming up for a chase. I don't think there's going to be a catch available because he's on fresh tyres. It's, I believe, the number 2 Nissan has just taken the second position away from Even Steven and Abologist. Now it's all going to be about strategy.
Indeed, you're right. Baker into second in the Nissan GTR. Steven in third. He's made his pit stop. Like I mentioned, Abologist has also pitted, so he is now running in fourth. And Steven pitted a whole lot earlier, not a whole lot, but a couple of laps sooner than Abologist, and those couple of laps on fresher tires allowed him to retake the position from his teammate Abologist. Octane has made his pit stop, but amazingly, his race lead was so large that he has not lost the race lead.
But Justin McGee in 6th, coming out with Ayres Keith just behind him. We've got Justin on fresh tyres coming straight out of the pits, and Keith has a 1 lap old tyres coming in behind him. There's going to be a battle heating up here for sure.
Right.
That is a little bit rear end happy, and Keith seems to have the back end of his Mustang sorted out. So let's see what happens with this battle here for 7th and 6th.
Yep, Keith is coming. McMurder up to 5th. He has not yet made his pit stop. He was running in the 8th position before the pit stops began. Might be some strategy involved here. 2 Nissans, both still on the racing surface. Watching Keith go through the left-hand turn. This is where Dustin McGee got loose earlier in the event. Doesn't look like McGee does it here now on fresh tires. In fact, it looks like Keith had a little bit of a wiggle, but he's coming. It's going to be a Ford versus Chevy battle for the 6th position, and I'd say under 2 laps. We've reached the 25-minute mark here in the endurance race, round 3 of the 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series, hosted on Gran Turismo Sport. We're happy you're with us here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel to catch all the action from the 2019 NOSSCAR season on Gran Turismo, as well as all the action from all 15 of our leagues across 6 different games and 3 consoles. Visit NOSSCAR.com for more information on how to sign up and become a driver yourself. We've got t-shirts and stickers on the way. Pretty excited about that. I know you want a t-shirt, right, Greg?
Oh, as soon as, yeah. I saw the cheesy photo of you in one earlier, and I thought, well, everyone loves a cheesy photo, don't they? So why not?
Awesome. Hey, I'll have you know I got a couple of thumbs up for that one.
I believe it's who do we have? Twitch Whiskers, who takes part in some of your NASCAR leagues, has also got some stickers down as well.
That's
so
right.
Maybe sooner or later there might be a little store thing going on your website, but the availability is there, maybe through Extremes, but yeah, stickers and t-shirts, absolutely.
Very
Something to
excited
stick on the
about
back of your own car while you drive around.
The battle for second heating up. Baker and Even Steven. Even Steven on fresh tires. Baker has not yet made his pit stop. Launching now from a dynamic camera view. Steven takes the higher line, looking to get the launch off this corner. He does, but he spins the tires badly. Really had to slow down. Was unable to get alongside Baker for the second position.
Looks like he was ready for the pass there as well. If he'd have had traction, he would have been right alongside.
Oh, he's there. He's looking. There was contact made.
I tell you, some of the people in Formula One, the World Endurance Championship, the NASCAR leagues in real life would absolutely kill for some of these cameras. To have a floating camera fixed to the car as you go down the track watching it go. An absolutely phenomenal abilities.
This is amazing stuff. The dynamic cam. Abologist looking for third on his teammate.
We've got that 360 camera able to see what's going on side by side. Coming through the last turn, the penultimate, and onto the main straight. Who's going to take it? He's on the outside. Is he going to cut to the inside?
He does. Abologist takes third from Steven. That swinging right-hand turn there in turn one. Through the beginning of the S's. Abologist looking to chase down Baker for second now that he's made relatively short work of his teammate, Even Steven. But keep this in mind, Abologist pit about 2 to 3 laps after his teammate Steven did. That's why Steven was able to gain so much ground on Abologist and make the pass on him to begin with. He might be able to stick with Abologist a bit here if Abologist gets held up by Baker. We saw Steven not able to complete the pass on Baker despite having old tires. And here comes Abologist.
Really We've got 2 on 1. Oh, he's making a move. He's on the outside. Which means he's going to be on the outside for the hairpin. On the grass.
Oh, and around goes Baker. Contact with Steven.
Tad of a racing incident there.
Yeah, he hooked the left rear quarter panel of the Nissan GTR. And around went Baker. He recovered relatively quick, though. He's still in the 4th position. Not too far behind the 2 Team Subaru cars, but definitely not the way you want to see a pass made in the NOSSCAR GT Cup Series.
To be perfectly honest, trying to stay ahead of the Subarus with the speed they have, it's like wishing for rain on Mars. It's not going to happen. You've got to just let it go, you know?
We were wondering how
long... The fighting happened for as long as you could. But, yeah, it ended up being an overtake.
We were wondering, you and I, how long it would be until Team Subaru found a track where they would dominate, and it was round 3 of the season here at Suzuka.
Oh, and I believe that's a Nissan into the pits. Here we go. The whistles are out. We've got a set of Yokohama Advan going on the Nissan right here.
Number 86, Nissan GTR, Greg Baker from Great Britain on pit road.
Solid pit stop.
Pitting out at the 4th position. Gonna lose a couple of spots perhaps. But he'll gain him right back. His teammate Tyler McMurder in 5th is about 45 seconds behind his teammate Baker. So he has not even approached the entrance to pit road quite yet. Justin McGee running in 6th. Now McMurder, the second Nissan GTR, on pit road. Greg Baker exits pit road. He's back out on the course. Justin McGee stays out to take the 5th position. He's already made his first pit stop. This is the first pit stop for the 32 GTR.
But for the viewers out there, we've got an interesting split here between the strategy of the Nissan team, specifically looking towards the Subaru team. They could have considerably earlier, maybe lap 10, lap 9, lap 11, somewhere around that point. So if we're looking for 25 laps around the circuit, maybe 30 laps, something around that time, they're going to have to pit twice. And it looks like the Nissans are only going to have to make this one stop, running on the racing hards on the front and the racing softs on the rear with an even wear, taking a full fuel tank each time they come into the pits. It looks like a one-stop.
The Nissan GTRs waited so long to make those pit stops. You're right, they could definitely make this strategy work, and they would pit one fewer time than their competition. They may not be able to pass the Subarus, at least not McMurder in the 32, but Baker in the 86 might be able to grab a spot or two from them and grab a podium finish. It's going to come down to the fuel and tire strategy that the Nissan GTR cars are trying to execute at Suzuka. 9 cars left on the racetrack. 14 drivers started the event from 4 different countries, and it's Octane from the USA leading the way.
Well, it looks like Octane had a little bit of an incident on lap 15 there. On lap 16. Setting a lap time of a 2-minute 1.7, which is considerably below what you would be expecting him to run. Maybe he's conserving his tyres for the next stint. We don't know.
And we'll find out. Nick McMurder in the 32 Nissan GTR has went with softs on all 4 tires, and he's gaining ground on Jamie Bunzel in 7th, Keith Ayers in 6th. The tire wear beginning to show on some of these drivers.
I think we've got a bologist preparing a manoeuvre on even Steven here. That's the number 83 on the number 15 Subarus. Coming to the back side of the circuit. One of the most difficult corners on the track, for sure. So hold your speed all the way around.
Beautiful corner there by a bologist. He's gaining ground on his Team Subaru teammate. Those drivers have swapped positions back and forth several times in this event. Sorry, go on.
Apologies, last lap was a 2-minute flat, basically, and even Stevens was a 2-minute 1. So he's lapping right now somewhere between half a second and a second quicker than the guy ahead of him. The difference between the two being he's running behind him in a 30 air, so it's making him go a little bit understeer, and he's having to deal a bit more with the corners.
And once these tires get some wear on them, they kind of balance out and even out to a degree, and these cars only pit 2 laps apart. So once both cars have worn tires, they should be evenly matched and be able to battle for the 2nd position. But it's really been all Octane here at Suzuka, leading the way. He's got the fastest race lap right now. There's a bonus point for that. There's a bonus point for winning the pole, and he's got that already locked up in hand. He's taking these corners perfectly.
I'm just focusing in on some of the telemetry data we've got here, and focusing again on the tyres of even Steven and the bologist. By running in Steven's dirty air, the only difference between the two in tyre wear is the front tyres. So it seems like it's a bit of a struggle for a bologist to keep up. It's destroying his tyres, trying to hold on in the corners, fighting that dirty air.
He's driving pretty aggressive right now. He got back to the throttle very quick there, exiting that tight left-hand turn, and did not spin the tires a bit. And he's gaining on his Team Subaru teammate. Every time I look at them, the gap is shrinking. It's going to be a battle for 2nd here between Steven and Apologist in just a matter of laps.
If even Steven stays consistent, he should hold that position. I mean, if we look back on some of his times, lap time seems to have a bit of an issue. It's 2 minute 25 for what is normally a 2-minute lap, so 25 seconds. He must have quite a big off there.
Showing Baker in P4. He's made his first pit stop, and he's got fresher tires than the 3 Subarus in front of him, so he's actually gaining a little bit of ground on the front 3 runners, but not enough ground to catch them in this stint before he's got to make another pit stop. And he's got company, actually. It's actually Thomas Geyer running in 9th. 1 lap down in the number 8 Chevy Corvette. 14 drivers started the event, so top 10 for Thomas is really not too bad. It's going to be a decent points day for him. The car not really handling to his liking at this point. Keith Ayers started at the back of the pack, running in the 6th position. Still has his teammate running in 7th, right behind him, Jamie Butzel. Solid day for the Team Mustang drivers. They showed good speed in the short run during the practice sessions all week long, but it was the long runs that they were a little bit concerned about, and their tires are really not falling off any more than the next driver from one of the other teams. So mission accomplished in that sense, but they're running in 6th and 7th right now. And Bill Baldwin, the 3rd Ford Mustang, has pulled off the race surface, and he's going to finish in the 11th position, if I'm not mistaken. The battle for second heating up between the 2 Team Subaru teammates. We knew it was coming. I called it. Apologist in 3rd, number 83 Subaru, stalking his teammate Even Steven.
Not but a couple of tenths of a second in it right here, coming into the penultimate corner. Both of them taking it smooth, getting a good run onto the straight. Oh, looks like Even Steven has a bit of a wobble. Is he going to lose out?
Coming into turn 1, Apologist is very strong here in turn 1. We've seen that all race long. Shows it again, another solid corner. Number 15, number 83. Different driving styles through the S's, it seems, but it might be due to the slightly different wear on the tires. Maybe Even Steven has worn his tires a little bit, trying to drive away from Apologist, or perhaps gain ground on the race leader Octane. Looks like Apologist is not struggling quite as much as Steven when it comes to exiting the corners and having grip in the corners. Bit of a wiggle from Steven. Apologist gets a little bit closer. Took a higher line through this turn, looking for the run of momentum on the exit. He got it. He's in the draft now for the straightaway.
The drivers really are using every inch of the track, pushing it right to the limits. We're talking inches away from the back wheels going onto some of the off-road turf, and the car is backwards.
Sorry to interrupt you. Off course goes Apologist. He recovers quickly because it wasn't really exactly a dangerous part of the track to go off course, but that definitely cost him a bit of ground, and now Steven is on pit road, surrendering the 2nd position.
Well, we've all been there around, I believe it's 130 yard? Or am I mistaken there? But yeah, that long left-hander, we've all been there, gone off the edge and had to drag it back on just before the braking zone.
Steven becomes the first driver to pit twice here at Suzuka.
Looks like they're going for an even 10 lap, 20 lap stops. 2 stops in the race. Should be seeing Octane and Abologist any minute now. And he comes out ahead of the person in fourth, GTR. Number 86 Nissan.
The two Ford Mustangs have both made their pit stops, so that puts Tyler McMurder back into the 6th position for the time being for the Nissan GTR. Abologist in 2nd. We're expecting him to pit road within the next couple of laps. Very similar strategy to his teammate, Even Steven.
It looks like the team principal of the Ford team, they've said, go for it, boys, get racing. So it looks like we're going to have some good action between these two.
Yeah, do we ever? Jamie Bunzel all over the back bumper, all over that rear spoiler of Keith Ayres. Keith overdrives the left turn there a little bit, gets into the grass, holds on to it. Looked like Jamie Bunzel really lifted off the throttle after seeing his teammate go off course a little bit.
It does look like he's trying to save fuel, I imagine.
Yeah, he very well might be.
And he dips himself off and goes into the dirt himself, Jamie Bunzel, costing him a little bit on the straight. So there's now a considerable gap between the two drivers.
Dustin McGee has made his pit stop. That puts Tyler McMurder up into the 5th position in the Nissan GTR. So now Team Subaru holding down the top 3 positions. Team GTR running 4th and 5th. You've got a Chevy Corvette in 6th. You've got a Ford Mustang in 7th and 8th. A Chevy Corvette in 9th. And the drivers running 10th through 14th are off course. Those include a couple of Honda NSXs and a Ford Mustang and a Chevy Corvette.
Looks like the pack of racers, it's been spread out considerably across the first part of this race, but I think they're going to be coming back together soon. We've got some of those Subarus, they're going to have to come in and make some pit manoeuvres. That should tighten the pack up and get us some pack racing right here. I think at the moment, though, some of the best racing has got to be, here we go, Jamie Bunzel against Ayres Keith in the Ford Mustangs.
That's what I was keeping my eye on, for sure. The Mustang battle is still raging war over here. And we saw Jamie Bunzel get a little bit out of shape. We saw Keith drive away, and now Bunzel gaining ground on Keith yet again. They've both made their 2nd pit stop. They might have to come back to pit road once more before the end of the race, but they're still having a good time while they don't have to pit.
One mistake from Keith and Bunzel will capitalise on this final corner.
And you mentioned it. Keith makes a mistake through the S-bend there, loses the 7th position to Jamie Bunzel, chooses not to pit. Looked like he was tempted to, and now they go down the front straightaway across the finish line. Jamie Bunzel in the 7th position with about 9 car lengths in between himself and his teammate. We've reached the 45-minute mark here in this 16-minute endurance race. 15 minutes left. Round 3, the 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series. On Gran Turismo Sport, it's been dominated by this man, Octane, from the U.S., number 14, Subaru, and he is flying. The pole winner, fastest race lap, both of those bonus points going to Octane, so far anyways.
It seems the Subaru of Octane, number 1 on the track at the moment, is about, give or take, a minute in front of his competitor team Nissan in 4th and 5th. And it does seem, by looking at his times, 2-minute 1, 2-minute flat, 2-minute 1, consistently over the last 10 laps, he's having to think about how he's wearing his tyres down. Is the team behind not going to have to pit? Am I going to have to pit again? Can I make it to the end of the race? Question.
Does he have a big enough gap on his two Team Subaru teammates to save fuel or to gamble, maybe? Is he having a big enough safety cushion? And now he comes down pit road. This might be surrendering the race lead because we haven't seen Apologist or even Steven come down pit road yet for their second pit stop. But your race leader Octane on pit road for the final time we expect in this event. But then again, we've been wrong before.
Pirelli's on that Sierra, on the Subaru, wearing considerably quicker than most of the rest of the field. Even, surprisingly, compared to the Corvette of Justin McGee.
Apologist on pit road as well, so the front two Team Subaru cars. Octane and Apologist on pit road. Number 83. Subaru comes to a halt in his pit stop for tires and fuel. Even Steven remains on the track in second. Greg Baker.
Would you look at that? The person filling the fuel up on each of these teams seems to be wearing a Darth Vader mask. I don't blame them though. If a fire starts on the side of one of these cars, you don't want your face anywhere near that fuel tank.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So we're taking the rundown. Octane, the number 14 Subaru, first position. Got the number 15 of even Steven in second position. Apologist, who in the number 83 Subaru in third. Following up that, we've got the two GTRs, Ty Mack and myself in fourth and fifth. Dustin McGee in sixth in the Corvette C7. Jamie Bunsell and A.S. Keith in seventh and eighth respectively in the Ford Mustangs.
And Thomas Geyer in the number 8 Chevy Corvette in ninth. 9 cars remaining on the racetrack, 14 entered. We're going to have a winner here in about 11 minutes from now. We've reached the 49-minute mark. Yeah, the Team GTR drivers, Greg Baker, Tyler McMurder, came into this race with a strategy in mind. Baker won at Willow Springs, McMurder won at Blue Moon Bay Speedway 2 weeks ago, so they're off to a great start and they know a thing or two about forming a strategy, in particular Greg Baker in the number 86 car. Master plan. And it's executing well at Suzuka Circuit so far.
The only team able to actually make it work on a split tyre strategy. That'll be at the beginning of the race. Within this game you can run one set of tyres on the front two wheels and another set of tyres on the rear two wheels. So you can really balance the controllability of the car. And racing hard tyres on the front, that's a tyre no one else has been able to run. So that massively helped, allowing them to pit halfway or just after halfway through the race. A little bit of tyre management in the second stint and that will make it a one stop compared to some of the other teams' 2 or 3 stops. So the strategy definitely did work. Coming back out on track, 4th and 5th. Some people might loathe this circuit to drive, but as any good racer will tell you, this is the pinnacle of racing. There's not many designers that can come up with a track like this anymore.
A lot of character to this Suzuka GP circuit. These drivers putting on a tremendous performance today.
I mean, the current cost for a race circuit is between $3 and $4 billion. So it does seem that they're hemmed in and controlled by the racing leagues and formulas that will be racing on that circuit. So they have to conform to certain regulations, to certain ideals of what a racetrack might be. Good thing we've still got tracks like this and Brands Hatch on the calendar. Bit of quality from the old days.
Jamie Bunzel has the leader Octane on his back bumper, and if he gets around him, it'll put him 1 lap down, and we'll have 6 cars on the lead lap. Octane all over.
He's sniffing every opportunity, isn't he?
Showing you from the dynamic cam. Octane.
Shall I take the outside? Shall I take the inside? He doesn't know where to go.
And there he goes. Completes the pass, coming out of the S's.
And there goes Bunzel. Like he spun. Did someone spin out?
Thomas Geyer in the number 8 Chevy Corvette off course. And Dustin McGee had to take some evasive action to avoid his teammate, and he lost a little bit of time there. We have under 8 minutes left. Round 3 of the 2019 NOSSCAR GT Cup Series on Gran Turismo. Oh, and Thomas Geyer gets loose again. Being shown the blue flag because the leader is right on his back bumper. Showing you from the dynamic view. Oh, and it was a connection issue. Okay, thank goodness, because yeah, Thomas Geyer, it looked like there was hard contact made between your race leader and Thomas Geyer, but I don't believe there was. Octane is your race leader. All he's got to do is hold on for another 6 minutes and 30 seconds here, and he's going to win the round 3 race. He was the dominant car all week long in the practice sessions. Showed great speed when he took the car out on the track for qualifying, won the pole. He's led the most laps here today, and he's got a massive lead over his 2 Team Subaru teammates. It's been a great race for the Team Subaru organization here in NOSSCAR, and they're well on their way to winning this race and perhaps capturing all 3 podium positions here today at Suzuka.
And that's going to make a considerable difference for the manufacturer's point standards. So far it's been difficult but tight for the Nissans to keep that top spot, but they have been. And this week it looks like taking that 1, 2, 3 position, that's going to be considerable for the manufacturers. The rest of the season, it looks like if we're to continue the way we started off, it's going to be Nissan and Subaru fighting it out for that manufacturer's top position.
Yeah, this is going to bring Team Subaru a whole lot closer in the manufacturer's standings. And this is exactly what they needed. Now Dustin McGee in trouble of going 1 lap down. He's in the 6th position. 5 minutes to go.
Where's he going to let him past? Ah, there we go. He made a little mistake, and Octane's moved past the back marker.
And McGee goes through the dirt a little bit there, recovers, but you're right, Octane makes the pass. Down 1 lap goes Dustin McGee. Dustin McGee was the strongest car in terms of speed at Blue Moon Bay Speedway 2 weeks ago. However, lost the race due to strategy performed by the Team GTR cars, and it was Tyler McMurder in the 32 winning 2 weeks ago. Finished 5th at Willow Springs, first 2 weeks ago at Blue Moon Bay. Now runs in the 5th position here at Suzuka, and if he can hold on without having to pit once more, he's going to finish in the top 5 yet again. Right behind his teammate, Greg Baker, the number 86 Nissan GTR. Four minutes to go.
So yeah, coming out of the last race, the manufacturer's point standings, it was sent a Nissan at 114 points. 14 coming out second, Gate with 102 points. Corvette were on 71, and Subaru on 66. With the Team Honda lagging behind with 27 points. So with a 1-2-3 finish, the Subaru team is definitely going to jump up into the leading position. maybe not definitely. With fourth and fifth Nissans, they will still bring home some points, so it's definitely going to be balancing out top of the manufacturer standings. 3.5 minutes to go.
Should be interesting. I know that all the owners and the sponsors and the manufacturers are all standing around cringing and hoping for their drivers to get the best finish possible. It's all about the dollars and it's all about the results. Team Subaru is certainly getting the results that they wanted here today at Suzuka, holding the top 3 spots right now, as you mentioned. Team GTR holding 4th and 5th. That's, as you mentioned, that's going to keep them either up there on top of the manufacturer standings or within striking distance of the Team Subaru organization. Dustin McGee leads the charge for Team Corvette in the 6th position, and you also have Thomas Geyer in 9th in the number 8 Chevy Corvette. The Team Mustang cars running in 7th and 8th. Jamie Bunzel in the 2 on pit road, leaving the pits now. Not sure if he's going to lose a position to his teammate Keith or not. It appears not.
I think that was a good tactical decision there to take fresh tyres, just to make sure he was able to hold the gap. So, yeah, good decision there by Jamie.
You might as well. It may be late in the race, but if the car doesn't feel quite right and you're not going to catch the driver in front of you and you're not going to lose a spot to the driver behind you, it's better to be safe than sorry, especially at a track with so much character and so much different style of turns and different challenges in one single course, like Suzuka Circuit.
Absolutely, you want to turn that fuel mix down a little bit, you want to go a bit easier on your tyres, and the ability to pit to take a fresh set of boots, why not?
I'd take 4 fresh tires if I with no consequences. I'd take 4 fresh tires any day.
Absolutely. I was just contemplating hearing some of the Formula One and World Endurance Championship teams within some of the last races. They were talking about the way e-leagues are absolutely taking off at the moment. The last few years have been what they contemplate in the future. Less than 1% of what we expect to see within e-league racing. So some of these sponsors better take notice. We've got a lot more people watching these e-league races now. In fact, within the next few years, it may even balance out people who watch races being done in real life with real vehicles, and then on the side, on the virtual side, the simulation. So this is only the beginning of something great. See how far we can go.
Well said. I could not agree more. We may be on the final lap here. I think Octane took the white flag there. We're approaching the 60-minute mark of the race, and this is indeed the final lap for the drivers running up front. Octane, if he can run a clean lap like he has all race long for the last 60 minutes, he's going to be a winner here in the NASCAR GT Cup Series on Gran Turismo Sport. And winning a NASCAR race, no matter what series, no matter what game, what style of racing and discipline of racing, whether it's asphalt or concrete or dirt, it's not easy winning a NASCAR race. And this is one that Octane is going to remember for the rest of his eSport racing career.
Sorry to interrupt you, we've just gone past the 60-minute mark, so this is the final lap of the race.
Agreed.
It looks like he's really kicked it into high gear over the last 5 or 6 laps. He's taken a risk. He's setting absolutely blistering lap times. He's got a massively full tank of gas and really good tyres. So the exact opposite of Jamie Bunzel. He's kicking it into the next gear.
Started strong, finishing strong. The first American leg of the 2019 season is in the history books. Greg Baker winning at Willow Springs, Tyler McMurder winning at Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Now we're here for the first Japanese leg of the 2019 GT Cup season, and it's Octane from Team Subaru coming out of the final turn here at Suzuka to win the NASCAR GT Cup Series race.
Doing a bit of showing off across the line. A deserved win there for him. Many hours of practice, setting up the vehicle, working with his teammates. 1, 2, 3 finish by the looks of things. Great work by the Subaru team.
phenomenal race, a flawless race for Team Subaru. Even Steven coming out of the final turn now to finish in second. He does a nice slide across the start-finish line. Not sure if the team owner is going to like the contact with the nose on the outside wall, but that's neither here nor there. Abologist finishes in the third position. Greg Baker in fourth. Tyler McMurder rounding out the top 5. 14 drivers entered the race. And we couldn't have asked for a more exciting race at Suzuka.
Absolutely, definitely not what I expected from taking part in some of the practicing sessions, from seeing how the qualifying was going on between all the different teams. I saw the Subarus were good, but I really did not think they'd be able to take it to that level, taking a 1-2-3 victory out of nowhere. It was, yeah, absolutely a brilliant race from them. And not bad from the Ford team as well. They held some really solid positions through there.
Yeah, the Ford cars looked strong during the short runs, but then they appeared to fall off as the long runs, as the tires wore, as the runs got longer. But they were able to hold on for top 10 finishes. That's a good value of points in the standings. And they can't be too upset about this run. They had some good speed out there that needs to be impressed when they were in the thick of things, especially here in the stages of the event.
And we can see here with the absolute beauty of this game, there are so many driving disciplines to take a quote from you for within this game. There is absolutely no doubt within the next month, the next year or so, there will be some more tournaments taking part on this game. Maybe in the dirt, maybe there'll be rallycross vehicles, maybe there'll be NASCAR if one comes into the game. But as you can see, there's a heck of a lot of vehicles and the beauty is endless.
Absolutely. As well as the possibilities. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for the live broadcast. Round 3 is in the history books. Congratulations to Octane. Hit the subscribe button on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel to catch more action, and we will see you next week.